You know something? I actually find it quite interesting. Of course, this nice exclusive cover sleeve for Cabin in the Woods, and once I actually pretty much pop it off, yeah, actually reveals to be the actual cover of the movie itself. All the more reasons why I love collecting films on physical media for sure. So, but anyways, hey guys, this is SamAttack4427 here with, of course, another video for all of you guys. And now, before I begin, I think I might as well say this. Pretty much, I'm not only here with, of course, a new video right in front of my shelf containing my DVDs and Blu-rays, but also finally got myself a haircut at long last. So yeah, it's probably been 7 months too late, of course, on that one. But hey, I'm actually glad I got it now for sure. So yeah, not to worry about a thing. My hair will grow back within a matter of time for sure. So yeah, I guess this is all you're gonna be seeing it for now. So yeah, I'll go ahead and put this back and yeah, I guess, if anything, we're back right in front of my DVD and Blu-ray shelf as we speak with, of course, pretty much my nice Funko Pop figures pretty much picking up above for sure. And yeah, I think it is for a good reason for sure, because today's video, boy, it looks like pretty much my videos in regards to physical media entirely just can't catch a break for sure, but I guess in regards to the news that actually just dropped not too long ago, I think it makes sense to bring this topic up right now as we speak, because yeah, for a while I'm excited to see what 2024 will have to offer, and trust me when I say there are going to be some good stuff coming our way. There will, of course, be some downsides to go along with it, like, of course, pretty much of anything from what I can recall, the election coming up, and let's see, what else, some other bad things that might come our way to interfere with the good stuff, and I guess in regards to today's video, I guess in regards to physical media as we speak, seems like some big name stores out there are trying to kill off physical media entirely. So yeah, as if my video talking about pretty much Disney discontinuing DVDs and Blu-ray sales in Australia isn't enough for sure. Looks like some big name store chains are, of course, trying to kill off this format entirely, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about in today's video for sure. So yeah, in case you actually haven't heard the news, just not too long ago throughout this past weekend for sure, and yeah, I did need some time to myself, since after pretty much having a really great time at Retro Game Con this year, to which, by the way, to the people who've actually came up to me and say hi throughout that weekend, thank you so much. It really does mean a whole lot. But anyways, on to today's subject. So if you haven't heard the news not too long ago, this past weekend, it gets announced that pretty much, or I guess in this case, this past weekend, or the past week for sure, two of the biggest store chains that's been around for some time, Target and Best Buy, are planning on discontinuing their lineup of physical media for sure, which of course consists of DVDs and Blu-rays for sure, which, yeah, is actually really surprising to hear, and it doesn't actually stop there for sure, because following suit, of course, all of the turns out another big name store chain with one that is local to where I live, Wal-Mart, is also planning on discontinuing physical copies of video games for sure, starting which only consists of course, the Xbox games for the time being for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, pretty much based on, of course, what I'm actually hearing, you're already thinking to yourself that this is all one big joke. They would never actually do that, which, yeah, is actually true. But when you really look into the haga for sure, and based on other people's reactions when they actually heard the news, looks like the only thing we can say is, holy shit, they are actually that serious. So yeah, I guess if anything, I do felt the need to, of course, talk about this topic in, of course, today's video, just to really get my point across on, of course, how I actually feel about all this for sure. So yeah, I guess if you actually know me, and of course if you have seen several of my videos for some time now, I guess it is no big surprise on, of course, on my front that I absolutely really love physical media for sure. Why wouldn't I be a fan of it? Yeah, I guess with, of course, what I'm actually seeing with, of course, movies released onto DVD and Blu-ray, and, of course, let's not forget to mention, as someone who has hardly played any video games for quite some time now, I actually pretty much do have a good collection on video games for sure, completely physical and everything for sure, to which, yeah, I did talk about in several of my videos in the past for sure, and it's no big surprise on how much I actually really love this kind of a format for sure. In fact, most of my money's worth has actually gone towards me shopping around to actually pick up some of these on physical media for sure. So whichever ones that they have available that I don't have just yet, I can actually pretty much buy it and, of course, place it all in my shelves for sure. And of course, let's not forget to mention the ones that I actually would get are not only pretty much a good way to, of course, for me to show off how much of a fan I am for movies for sure, but I also do collect them for collector's purposes, and of course, to make videos on them for sure, to which, yeah, I've actually pretty much shared a really great amount of videos that I've done in the past for sure, many of which are, of course, pretty much on these movies I've actually pretty much seen throughout the years for sure, so. But yeah, I guess with, of course, why I'm actually hearing the news of course, pretty much Target, Best Buy, and Walmart actually trying their best to discontinue physical media for sure. Yeah, this is actually really serious for the time being for sure, because if anything, I think pretty much from what I can recall, I'm sure there's plenty of reasons for sure. In fact, I know hands down a lot of people, based on, of course, what I've actually learned, probably are not the biggest fans of course, collecting pretty much movies and shows on DVDs and Blu-rays anymore, and is more relying on digital and streaming as of now, to which, yeah, don't get me wrong, I actually am a big fan of course, streaming for sure. In fact, truth be told, I haven't actually done much streaming compared to, of course, the past few years for sure, but every once in a while, if I ever find something that I think would be really great enough for me to do some actual streaming, I say that's really quite amazing for sure, so. But yeah, I guess if anything, in regards to all of that, I still know hands down that pretty much if anything, the one thing I always rely on the most would definitely have to be, of course, well, seeing a movie on the big screen whenever I go out to a movie theater, pretty much firing up my television to, of course, watch something on TV, and of course, pretty much as one of many collectors out there, actually own them on DVD and Blu-ray for sure, so. But yeah, I think you can pretty much see where I'm getting at for sure, and I guess if anything, how do I actually feel of course, their decision, pretty much Target, Best Buy, and Walmart's decisions to pretty much discontinue, pretty much, yeah, try their best to discontinue physical media for sure. Well, I guess if anything from what I could gather, I think for the first two that I mentioned, Target and Best Buy, I guess to me, I think I know I haven't actually gone to those two quite often for sure, and even if I did, it would of course all pretty much be well over a 30 to 45 minute drive all the way down to Ithaca to actually go there for of course down in Ithaca Mall for sure, which I haven't actually done that often for sure, so it's ultimately kind of rare for me to actually do that, but needless to say, I do know in the past, both Target and Best Buy has actually pretty much has actually done a fine job in, of course, selling movies and video games for sure on physical media. For sure, on top of everything else they actually sell for sure. Like, of course, for Target, it's, of course, pretty much much like your general store that you always go to for sure. Pretty much on top of everything that you can get, like, of course, essentials for your house, pretty much gift cards, all sorts of cards, toys, and of course, groceries, just to name a few for sure. While for Best Buy, well, I guess it is quite obvious on that front. They usually rely on electronics for sure, which, yeah, kind of makes sense for each individual store to, of course, pop up every once in a while. You gotta have a pretty much a different style to, of course, engage your customers for sure, and of course, the ones that really do have a massive interest on, of course, one particular subject matter that they always love shopping for is guaranteed to, of course, actually be there and, of course, pick them up so that way they can make a whole lot more money for sure. And I guess in this case, as someone who's been a movie fan for some time, I guess DVDs and Blu-rays are, of course, pretty much that subject for sure. And again, why wouldn't they be for sure? Because yeah, I think with, of course, what I'm actually seeing, a good chunk of the revenue that they've actually earned from selling these copies alone would be enough to attract more customers. So that way, pretty much if anything, I guess if pretty much, if one person is looking for a title that's released locally to where they live, they can actually hop on over and, of course, drive on over there and actually pick them up for sure. And yeah, even sometimes, with, of course, what I'm actually hearing for sure, every once in a while, they will, of course, also offer some pretty much exclusives for sure. Yeah, they would actually sell some of the movies in their exclusive packaging for sure, just as a way to, of course, pretty much to help make a whole lot more money on top of course, pretty much what you'll get for sure, which, yeah, to me, I think it is actually really quite clever for sure. So I say this is actually really quite clever entirely, and I wouldn't necessarily say that both Target and Best Buy have pretty much have their massive successes for sure. They do have their ups and downs every once in a while for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, in regards to, of course, their announcement on discontinuing DVDs and Blu-rays on movies and TV shows, honestly, to me, I just think that is not really a clever move that they actually made for sure. Why do you think I pretty much say that, you may ask? Well, I think I might as well say this for sure, because of anything, pretty much taking away one aspect is, of course, taking away one chunk of your store, and I think pretty much if you were to take it out of the equation for sure, then to me, I don't think it's pretty much a good way to save costs. I think it is, of course, a pretty much one of the one of the ways where, of course, you can actually get one major consequence to your business, and that being, of course, lose money. So yeah, even if you were to take out one thing that makes up part of your store that helps bring in more and more customers even to this day, then I think chances are, pretty much if they're not there anymore, the customers that you attract won't come to your store. So So yeah, that's actually the one thing that I can say, of course, that front for sure. And I know that's saying a whole lot for sure, because if anything, pretty much sales on DVDs and Blu-rays as of now have not really been pretty much steady for some time now for sure, but there are a really great amount of people like myself that still want to keep on buying all these physical media for sure, and actually help keep it alive for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I could say for, of course, that front for sure. So even if you were to take physical media out of the equation, pretty much for your store, then I think chances are it is, of course, one way to lose money for sure. So yeah, and I guess in the case of course, Wal-Mart actually starting to discontinue physical copies of course, video games as of now. Well, I guess from what I'm actually hearing, it is actually rather pretty much rather small compared to, of course, what Target and Best Buy is doing right now, because if anything, it's just based on, of course, what I'm actually hearing, it is, of course, relying more on, of course, Xbox games for sure, so there's no real harm to it entirely. Pretty much the chunk of games being released by PlayStation and Nintendo are still up for grabs for the time being for sure. So yeah, it's just mainly Xbox for now, and yeah, as someone who has actually hardly played any video games as of now compared to back then for sure, again, I do think it's not really a smart move for Wal-Mart to actually do for sure, because of anything, I guess for starters, again, there are some hardcore gamers out there that actually do pop by at Wal-Mart to pick up any Xbox games for sure, and on top of all that, people are also relying more on GameStop whenever they want to, of course, pick up any games physically for sure. So yeah, I think if anything, I guess if anything, it's just only one portion of that chunk of course, the entertainment section that Wal-Mart actually has in their stores for sure. Well, the rest is still completely fine for the time being, but it may change over time depending when this video goes live, but yeah, I guess it is another clear example where, of course, I do believe that that is, of course, one way to lose money for sure. So either way, I guess if anything, with of course what I'm actually hearing, and I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, well, if that's how you feel, then why can't you still rely on, of course, pretty much digital and streaming just like the rest of us? Well, I would, but there are some major downsides to, of course, both of those for sure. For starters, yes, you can actually rely on digital and streaming for sure, as it is a good way to, of course, see movies after they're released for sure. But I guess if anything, there is, of course, several things that, of course, physical media has that digital and streaming don't have for sure. So yeah, I guess for starters, I guess with, of course, DVDs and Blu-rays for sure, I guess if anything, the only reason why I think they're way more important than relying on, of course, digital and streaming for sure, is that, believe it or not, they've actually crammed in some really great stuff on top of course, the movies that you would actually get. Like, of course, you would get tons of extras that are, of course, packaged in, like yeah, for sure, like, of course, pretty much of anything, behind-the-scenes documentaries, bloopers and outtakes, interviews with the cast and crews, yeah, and of course, the trailers, and that's just to name a few for sure, on top of course, everything else that I couldn't list for sure, and let's not forget to mention, you also pretty much get like audio setup and of course subtitles for those with, of course, pretty much who want to experience the movie in another language, or of course have pretty much have a disability, like of course being deaf, for example. I say that is actually one way to actually put it for sure. While digital and streaming, they actually don't have that for sure, because all you get with of course all of them is of course pretty much the movie, and that's it. Nothing else for sure. So yeah, that's actually one thing that I can say of course on that front. And even if of course you rely on pretty much getting the films digitally, let me ask you one simple question for sure. Let's say there's pretty much one service out there that relies on giving you movies digitally, the you absolutely love the most, and of course you are having a good time, and of course pretty much enjoying the stuff they got put out. But let me ask you one simple question. When your favorite platform when getting movies digitally goes away, let me ask you something. Where do your movies go when they pretty much when that platform is officially done? So pretty much do you actually save them in your computer or your hard drive, or are they actually packaged in and of course pretty much the platform that you signed up for, where you got your movies digitally? That's exactly my point for sure. So yeah, if your favorite platform goes, where do your movies go for sure? So yeah, I guess that is a clear example, of course, why I actually mean for sure. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I guess in regards to streaming for sure, yeah, like I said, I do rely on, of course, pretty much a good chunk of course, streaming services that I would watch a good amount of content on. Like, of course, I still rely on, of course, movies and TV shows, pretty much in the various miscellaneous round. Like, of course, some good stuff on Netflix for sure. I will rely on something Disney related on Disney Plus, or I will of course rely on of course something anime related like on Crunchyroll, for example. Kind of my point pretty much for sure, and that's just to name me a few for sure. But the one thing I actually really do hate the most about streaming for sure is that every once in a while they will have the tendency to, of course, pretty much take off a certain movie or show off of that said streaming service for sure, which, yeah, can, of course, be a massive eyesore entirely, and, of course, be a colossal migraine for sure, because if those go, where else can you actually find them to actually watch them for sure? Again, kind of my point for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, for streaming services, that can actually be a massive downside for sure, as well as, of course, pretty much digital for sure, while for physical media, you don't have to worry about all of that, because once you actually pick them up, they're in your hands forever for sure, so that way you can watch them at home, or of course, if you actually have pretty much have a loved one or have kids, they can also watch them whenever they want as well for sure. So yeah, again, that's pretty much my point for sure, and that is exactly why I still rely on, of course, physical media for sure, whenever I want to see a really good movie or a show, or even an anime for sure, and yeah, I think it's still something I still rely on the most, and I guess given to, of course, pretty much this massive collection I'm pretty much still getting for the time being, which is filling up rapidly for sure, and I mean no joke, the good chunk of the Blu-rays that I've actually owned as of now is actually growing much faster than the amount of DVDs that I've actually been getting for some time for sure. But hey, as long as it actually still sells well, I'm all for it for sure. So yeah, and that's something that I do think is what really matters for sure. I say physical media is something that I do think is something that really matters for sure, and deserves pretty much a whole lot more love for sure, especially since after when they actually first started for sure, and yeah, pretty much ever since then, and I guess if anything, as the decades progress, physical media has actually grown and evolved over time for sure. And if you have done your history of course, all of them, you'll see on how much they've actually grown, whether they be for the better or for the worse for sure. So I guess in regards to, of course, this subject matter, with, of course, their decisions of course, pretty much Target, Best Buy, and Walmart starting to discontinue physical media for sure, do I think that physical media should die for sure? Well, not necessarily for sure, because if anything, physical media may start to die at stores physically, but I can say this as of now, it is still alive and well online for sure, because if anything, pretty much unlike pretty much the big name stores like, of course, Target, Best Buy, and Walmart that I mentioned, on top of everything else for sure, online retailers like, of course, eBay and Amazon, for example, are still relying more on, of course, giving you guys exactly that. So if there's a movie or a TV show or even anime that is available on physical media, they've actually got you covered for sure. And I should say this for sure, as much as I do love pretty much collecting physical media at pretty much some stores I go to locally for sure, I do always rely back on, of course, pretty much online shops, like again, either Amazon or eBay for sure, that can really help me out, and of course, getting me exactly what I want to help make my physical media collection grow a ton for sure, and look how well that turned out for sure. So, like, I think a good example is the guy. Pretty much, if anything, I think I've actually really got a good chunk of course, pretty much movies on DVD and Blu-ray off of Amazon. Like, take for example, Ghostbusters Afterlife, for example. So yeah, that's actually one good example that I can give for sure. So I guess if anything, if Walmart doesn't actually have pretty much this movie on Blu-ray like I was hoping for, then I guess I can rely on Amazon to the rescue for sure. And I mean, why wouldn't I for sure? And how else will, of course, Amazon still compete with Walmart even to this day for sure? So yeah, as much as I do love Walmart for sure, I still always go back to Amazon to give me something great, and with, of course, what I've actually purchased for the past few years, it's actually given me some really great results for sure. So yeah, that's actually one good example for, of course, Amazon for sure. Now, I guess in regards to eBay, that is, of course, a good example for sure. Yeah, I think one good example is, of course, when I finally got my hands on pretty much The Exorcist, the complete anthology Blu-ray set, which I won't lie, it was, of course, the toughest thing that I need to do, because this one is ultimately rare for sure, and despite it being massively expensive around the time I actually got it, the seller on eBay was actually really kind to me to give it to me in my hands for sure, and I couldn't help but thank that seller for doing exactly that for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, I mean, it's ultimately rare to, of course, find some good stuff on eBay, but I say this one is, of course, a really good example, and I'm really quite glad that I finally got it for sure. So yeah, I'll go ahead and pretty much put this back, and yeah, there we go. So So yeah, that's actually one good example that I can actually give when, of course, online shops actually helped me out, and of course, in regards to physical media for sure, and I never regretted that, hands down for sure. Like I said, it's given me some great results, and of course, some nice new additions to my DVD and Blu-ray collection for sure, and I'll be really excited to see, of course, what they'll have to offer for sure. Like, of course, for example, pretty much during the time this video goes live, right around next week is when Blumhouse is finally going to be releasing the long-awaited film adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's. And yeah, as much as I'm really excited to, of course, see that said movie when it actually does come out, and based on what I've actually seen in the trailers, it actually does look really good, and I do hope it'll actually be incredibly faithful to the original video games that they're based on, to which, again, based on, of course, what I'm actually seeing, it is actually going that route for sure, and yeah, that is just to what I can say, of course, that front. I know I'm really excited to see it, so I guess in light of that, I was, of course, lucky enough to go onto Amazon and officially purchase pretty much the video games for sure. No joke, I actually, probably by the time I'm recording this, I have already ordered pretty much all of the Five Nights at Freddy's games, pretty much the first 4 installments, plus a sister location in one big core collection, alongside Help Wanted and Security Breach, all of which on the Nintendo Switch for sure, to which, yeah, I think it's actually really quite great for sure, and they're gonna go great alongside all of my other Nintendo Switch games that I currently got for sure. So yeah, I guess in regards to the movie that'll be coming out for sure, I do plan on playing the first Five Nights at Freddy's game just to see what it's like for sure, just to see what I'll be in for sure. So yeah, only time will tell, of course, pretty much how that'll go down, but I'll be really excited for that, and it'll be a really good warm-up before I'll actually dive head-on deep into the movie for sure, and who knows, maybe it might meet the, pretty much the same way of how much I really liked both Gran Turismo and the recent Super Mario Brothers movie that I've actually seen and talked about for sure, so yeah. It'll only be a matter of time for sure, but we'll know when the movie comes out for sure, but I'm still excited as hell for sure, so yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front for sure, so yeah, that's also one good example where, of course, I did rely on, of course, online shopping to, of course, help me out on that front for sure, so but yeah, I think it's what I could say, of course, that front. So I guess, if anything, what will pretty much what will become of course, Target, Best Buy, and Walmart based on their decisions, based on what we've actually heard? Well, it's very hard to say, of course, that front for sure, because for me, I think, if anything, if I think this is actually one major mistake that I think they're going to make for sure, and even if they do start losing money, of course, pretty much on their decisions for sure, maybe I guess it'll be the same way on how I felt about Disney discontinuing physical media in Australia. Maybe within a matter of time that pretty much they might actually reconsider their decision and actually find a way to, of course, bring it all back and actually give the people exactly what they want for sure. But again, only time will tell, of course, that front. And for while I will miss some of the great times we have seen all these exclusives they will actually put out, I still know, hands down, there will still be a ton of people that will be hardcore, pretty much physical media collectors for sure that are still willing to keep it alive for sure, and that's exactly why I mentioned earlier. I don't think physical media will ever truly die for sure, because if anything, as the years progress and the world starts to change more and more every single day, then then I think chances are it is also a really great way for a physical media to actually keep on growing and evolving even more, so that way the people who have actually grown up with this format will, of course, continue to, of course, keep on collecting and, of course, give the companies that are actually making all these content on that said format a whole lot more money for sure. So yeah, and even some new people who want to get into, of course, this pretty much this style for sure will also follow suit, of course, all of that for sure. So yeah, only time will tell, of course, all of the yeah, and I guess for those actually thinking the physical media doesn't deserve to exist anymore, then you will always be a good example of someone who will never, ever truly understand the meaning of course, all sorts of entertainment for sure, but that's just mainly my 2 cents. So yeah, like I said, maybe within a matter of time, Target, Best Buy, and Walmart might actually reconsider their decision and find a way to bring it back for sure. But I guess for now, if ever, this is what we're stuck with for sure. But hey, either way, I still hope physical media will keep on going for sure, and actually still hope to encourage more people to actually get right into it, just to see on what they're going to be in for sure. So yeah, and if that's something that you are willing to take on, then by all means, go ahead and do so. I guess if anything, you will not regret it hands down for sure. But hey, I guess with, of course, what I'm actually saying, that's just mainly on my 2 cents for sure. So yeah, and I guess on that thought, I think it'll be a good way to end this video for sure. So yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video. And by all means, what do you think of course, this announcement that Target, Best Buy, and Walmart just made for sure? Let me know in the comment section below. And by all means, like I said, if you are a big fan of physical media, I say keep on buying those for sure, and actually help find a way to actually keep it going for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I can say on, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and don't worry about a thing. I've got plenty more videos coming up very, very soon, despite what I actually can give out for sure. But I'm just giving you guys what I actually can give for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I can say on, of course, that front for sure. So yeah, now if you excuse me, I think I'm gonna still work hard to, of course, get more movies on DVDs and Blu-rays for sure. So hopefully, I think there'll be some good ones for sure. But I guess until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyTackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is AckleyTack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up.
Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as joining our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTACTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.